How's it going, YouTube? Jimmie here again. So last time we left off, we were working on the cab of the truck, and we're going to finish up with the interior, so that's where I'm going to start right now. Now, normally, I'll have all these cool views and everything, and just do whatever. And by the way, something I forgot to mention, we got to duplicate this over. If you don't want to do it that way, something else you can do is just hold down Control C. I don't know why I just did that. You'll hold down Control G, Control Shift D, and this will duplicate it over exactly where you want it. So yeah, we need to work on the interior the rest of the way. So I got some reference images pulled up. Yeah, I was YouTubing it up earlier. Don't judge me. So this is kind of the look we're looking for, is this interior image. Just really reference. That's all it really is. So some of them have the separate seats. I think this one's actually like an SUV, and the pickups actually have a seat that, like the bench seat that goes all the way across. So we're going to go ahead and start working on this. Go back in here, and we need to create a dashboard. I don't know why I'm whispering. So anyways, yeah, enough of that. Enough of that nonsense. I'm just going to move this right about here, somewhere kind of like that. Now, whenever you create a dashboard, usually is what I'll do is I'll actually extrude this back piece, and I'll just kind of move it about here or so. I'll just scale it in. So, just like all my other, whoa, that was random. What happened, Jimmie? I have no idea. I wasn't paying attention. Normally what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just, scale it out some. I'll create a new edge loop, and same thing as before. I'm just going to delete half of it. So, something like that. So what I want to do now is actually take this side and just move it on over. Now for this one, we will need the doors. So I'm going to go into object mode. I'm actually going to duplicate this door and remove it from layer 6. So I have this to work off of reference. Something else I forgot to mention is that we will need to keep this here, so this way we can create the door panel. But for now, I'm just kind of using it as a reference, making sure everything looks good. So obviously, dashboards do not hang this low. What we're going to do is we're going to select these right here, and we're just going to move these up just a little bit. Now, right here helps create an edge loop. Something probably right about here. No. Maya problems. See, why does this even happen? I mean, seriously. Okay, seriously. Things like this just kind of drive me crazy. And I know it shouldn't, but it does. So, anyways, yeah, we're going to select this. We're going to do another edge loop, something probably right about here. Because there's actually like little switches off to this side. So, that's why I'm doing it like this. Plus, I want to. So, let's go back and look at our reference. I know this needs to come out. I'm just trying to figure out how it comes out. So, it looks like right here is a good reference image. So, we got a vent, actually. And all the parts that come out are going to be... So, this whole section needs to be wider. It looks like it's right to the side of the center console. Yep, wrong window. So, it looks like I got that one correct. But this one, we just need to move it over so there's enough room for a vent. That's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. I don't think it curves or anything. I think it's actually relatively, it's relatively flat. So it just needs to come out some. So I'm going to go back into Maya, and I'm going to, something I think would probably help is just pull this up just a little bit. And then I'll take this, I'm going to extrude this out. Something kind of like that, I'm thinking. I kind of want it to hang up a little higher than the rest. Maybe something kind of like that. And then I get to extrude it again. I'm going to do this extrusion like this, like I have been doing. So this way, this holds its shape. Does that part extrude out? Yeah, that all extrudes out. It's just the bottom part that doesn't. So this bottom part's actually going to have a cutout in it. We'll deal with that here in just a little bit. Man, I am tired. I don't know why. It's only 5 a.m. Okay, so I'm going to extrude this back, some kind of like this. I want it to keep the same shape that it has, so that's why I'm doing the same thing. And then I'm just going to extrude this back, probably something kind of like that, I'm thinking. Now, right here, this is going to hold a pretty solid shape as well, so I'm just going to move this back and move it down, something kind of like that. And then right here, whoa, if I can get my orientation correct. Oh, no, delete one too many. I'm just going to press delete. So, you know, I'm going to select this object and just frame in on this, so this way I don't have to fight with it a whole lot. Okay, so we have that edge right there. So this is going to be a little more difficult than what I was hoping it would be, but still be fairly easy. No big deal. So I'm just going to create an edge loop right there. So what I want to do now is I want to go into the Append to Poly tool, and we'll just close up these holes like so. I'm only choosing this tool because I'm sure right now it's lonely. We don't like our tools to be lonely. It makes them sad. Yeah, so my wife and I finally watched the movie Ready Player One. I'm not going to lie, it was actually a really good movie. Alright, so that looks like it's starting to turn out to be a pretty good shape. I'm going to add an edge loop here. I need an edge loop that goes around here, here, and here. Now, for these edge loops, I'm actually going to deselect this one. I need to select this whole thing. I need to deselect certain parts of it. So I think I'm just going to deselect right about there. And this is, we're going to use a cut face tool to lower the polygonal mesh. Now because this curves down, I actually need to deselect these as well. And I'm just going to delete those with this tool right here, and then I'll go into the cut face tool. And I'm going to click when that turns red. And we'll do the same thing there. There we go. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm like uber tired right now. I have no idea why. So y'all get to deal with sleep-deprivated Jimmie again. I don't know how excited y'all are about that, but, you know, it's whatever. Alright, so that's turned out pretty good. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to add an edge loop in here, about right there and about right here. And then I'm going to select this entire edge loop. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. This one is going to be a little more difficult, a little bit more tricky, because we want to keep this edge loop continuous all the way through the model. Let me see. Maybe something kind of like that, I'm thinking. And that one can go away. So I'll probably do that one as well. I don't know if y'all would consider that as unnecessary mesh or not, but I'll let y'all be the determining viewers of that. Alright, we'll delete those. Oi! Yeah, see, I'm so tired, even though after using this tool, like, it's always selected until you deselect it. For some odd reason, I keep pressing G. Like, it's going to magically deselect the object or something. You know, going to deselect it and turn it to, like, a selection tool or something after I press Enter. Yeah, real life problems. Let's take a look at it. It looks better. Still have a sharp edge down here, but I'm not really... I just really don't care about that. So, Alright, so the next thing we need to do, go into object mode, select this whole edge. I need to look at another reference image because this is good and we have a lot of it in here, but we don't quite have all the detail we want. So it looks like so I can't tell if this comes out flat or not. It looks like it comes out flat, but the vent panels and everything kind of like curve around just a little bit. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm actually going to take this edge right here. I'm going to pull both of these edges forward just a little bit. So when we hit 3, we'll have that shape. And then I think the rest of this is actually pretty flat. I mean, it looks pretty flat to me. I don't know. It's just kind of the way it looks. So, object mode. So there's two ways I can do this. I can duplicate this and then just get rid of this extra crap. Or I can cheat. Today I feel kind of like cheating. I don't know why I just did that. That edge loop can hang there for a minute. I guess it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to pull this out. One thing I do need to do before I pull this out too much is I'm going to go ahead and close this off. There we go. So now I can just select these faces. Then I'm going to go ahead and extrude these out. Right about here. I'm going to click on these two edges. I'm going to go into my side view. I'm just going to pull these out about like that. So that's why they match up. Now this one's going to have a better curve than that one because this one actually has an extra edge loop in it, whereas this one does not. So to do that, we're just going to click on edge loop. We'll add one right about here. Yeah, I still don't like the way it curves out. It just doesn't seem like it curves out enough. And of course, something I completely forgot about. Come on. Oh no, because we don't have an edge loop over there. So that doesn't need an edge loop. Just going to pull it out like that. Let's see. There we go. Now I think those are pretty square as well, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to see if I can find... No, they round off. Okay, so that'll work. Sweet. Alright, but it does have this little, like, beveled edge. So I'm going to try and recreate that. So for the beveled edge, it is simply... Wait, gotta create an edge loop. Actually, instead of creating an edge loop, I think is what I want to do is I'm going to look at my cut face tool. I'm going to cut the face right there. I'm just going to start cutting the face all the way across. Then I need to close this one off. Does that affect the shape? No, it does not. Sweet. Alright, so for the bevel, I'm just going to select those two. Oh, you bastard. There we go. Just going to move this back kind of like that. Alright. That doesn't look too bad. Does not look too bad at all. I'm sure right now some of you are like, there's no edge there, dude. Yeah, I know there's not. Yeah, I'm going to do this again. Yay. So I'm just going to click down here. I'm going to actually bring this one up quite a bit. So I want that to have a tight profile. I'm going to close it off right there. So now when I press 3, check this out. Now we have our bevel. Got a little bit of extra nonsense there too. So I'm going to move this over like this. Press 1. And I'm going to move what? Move this one out just a little bit because I don't really like that sharp curve in there. I want a slightly sharp curve. I don't want something that's too extreme. I'm thinking something kind of like that. Alright, there we go. So that's done. Let me see how it looks smoothed out. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Alright, so now the next thing we need to do is we actually need to make this thinner. Significantly thinner. So I'm just going to click on this whole edge loop right here. Yeah, is there an easier way to do this? I wonder. I'm going to select all of these edge loops and all of these. Deselect that one. Okay, I don't have anything else selected. So, let me turn this off. I can select that one, and I can select this one. Now all I have to do is just... Let's see, we're also going to need these selected as well. You would think I would have noticed that. So I don't need this one selected, fortunately. Mainly just these right here. The reason why, because all these should form in. Yeah, so all these should form in rather nicely. I'm just going to move it right about here, I'm thinking. Nope. I also need to select this one. Really, Maya? Come on. There we go. That should be it, I think. Should be. Might want to select this one too, just in case. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so now we have that. Let's take another look at the reference image. And... so both of these look like they're about the same width. So as long as we move those in just a little bit, I mean, it should be fine. Let me go and press 3 on the keyboard real quick. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. This is becoming a lot of nonsense. Now, if you want, you can actually keep the seats like this if you're going to make it a standard, or if you want to make it an automatic, you have to go to the bench seat, because that's generally how these are set up. Generally. So, just FYI. You don't have to. Completely optional. You know, you are the artist of your own creation, but generally I'm just saying that that's how these are usually set up. Okay, what is going on here? I have no idea what that was just about. Ooh. I'll have to fix those vertices later on, or here in a minute, or whenever. The reason why I want to fix these is because I'm trying to keep this uniform all the way across, but luckily all I have to do is just drag them down, about like that. So now when I press 3, we should have this smooth look. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. And if you don't quite like that, then you can just simply click on this right here. And you can just pull this down just a little bit. So that'll give you that nice shape that you're looking for. So that's pretty much it to creating the dashboard. Pretty easy. If you want a glove compartment, you can actually add that in through the texture map. Oh, don't tell me mine is messing up. It is messing up. So, okay, anyways, to add a glove box, you can add that through the texture map. In fact, all these extras in here, like the radio, the vents and everything, like the vents you can probably model in there, just try not to add too much mesh. But all this other stuff, you can really just use a texture map and do it that way. So like, you know, radio right here, this little area, you can actually just create like a little cutout of the dashboard itself and put like a little plane in there or something, and then you can just use a map with the stereo, the knobs, the vents, everything like that, and it'll look completely legit. So optional, completely up to you. But we're actually going to continue modeling on. I'm going to do the door panels in the next video, and we'll also do the shifter along with the steering wheel. Right now I'm going to restart Maya, and I'll see you in the next video.